Dear students, welcome to Sri Guru Sundara College, Bhatkal, digital learning platform by Department of BBA, fourth semester Insurance Management, Module 4, Evolution and Types of Insurance. In digital class 1, we have discussed about marine insurance. It is a continuation of general insurance, one more major type, that is fire insurance. We can discuss about fire insurance. Evolution of fire insurance. The origin of the fire insurance can be traced in the 16th century in Germany, where it was introduced in municipalities for providing compensation to owners of the property in return for an annual contribution based on the rent of that premises. The development of fire insurance did not begin until after the Great Fire of London in 1666. The Great Fire of London, which lasted for 4 days and 4 nights, where about 85% of the houses were burnt. This great tragedy drew the attention of public, and thereafter the first fire insurance office was established in England, and later on Sun Fire Office was set up in the year 1710. After that, the Industrial Revolution from 1700 to 1850, it gave much stimulus to development of fire insurance. The 19th century marked the development of fire insurance. On that time, establishment of more number of industries and its business gave an ample opportunity or scope for the development of fire insurance. Fire insurance in India. The Britishers took up fire insurance in India. The fire insurance started with the establishment of Triton Insurance Company in Calcutta in 1850. After that, the same Industrial Revolution gave that opportunity to development of fire insurance in India also. Now we can discuss about what is fire insurance. Fire insurance is a device to compensate for the loss consequent upon destruction by fire. The Insurance Act 1938 defines that the business of affecting otherwise than incidentally to some other class of insurance business, contract of insurance against the loss by or incidental to fire or other occurrence customarily included among the risk insured against in fire insurance policies. The meaning and definition clarifies that the compensation against the loss due to the incident of fire is called fire insurance. Next, nature of fire insurance. There are few important nature of this fire insurance. First one, written contract. It means that fire insurance do the contract between insured and insurer. After the written contract only, it will be considered legally. Next point, two parties. In fire insurance, the contract is made between two parties, namely insured and insurer. Period of insurance. The fire insurance is generally done maximum for term of 1 year. That means the term of fire insurance is 1 year. After that 1 year, so if the insured want, he can continue it by paying the premium. Next point, only protection element. Here in fire insurance, it acts as only protection element and lacks in investment elements. It can only give the protection for property or business against fire. Next, use of word insurance. In the insurance word is used instead of assurance. That means the compensation will be paid only if there is a loss. Again, the loss is specified by fire according to the terms and conditions which agreed by insured and insurer as per the contract. Next, we can discuss about types of fire insurance. First one, valued policy. The value of the property to be insured is determined at the inception of the policy. In this case, the insurer pays the total admitted value irrespective of the market value of the property. The measure of indemnity is in consequence not value at the time of fire, but a value agreed at the inception of the policy. That means when the contract has, at what time it has to take place, according to the total sum assured only can be compensated. This policy is used for insuring especially pictures, sculptures, works of art, jewelry, rare things like that. For example, Janapada Loka, Vishweswaraya Museum at Bangalore, Kuvempu House at Tirthali. This kind of a special rare things can be able to brought under this kind of fire insurance. Second one, specific policy. Here the value of property insured has no relevance in arriving at the measure of indemnity in a specified policy, and the insured sum sets a limit up to which the loss can be made good. That means total sum assured is limited. Here the actual property value at the time of incident may not be considered. So the specific policies clarifies that the value of property insured has measure of indemnity according to the limit of sum assured. Next point, floating policy. The floating policy is the policy taken to cover one or more kinds of goods or businesses at one time under one sum assured for one premium, and very important, in relation to the same owner. This policy is useful to cover fluctuating stocks in different localities. It is more useful for the businessmen, those who have businesses at multiple places. multiple properties with different locations, places, which can be carried under a single policy, that is practically more useful for businessmen's point of view. Next, average policy. The amount of indemnity is determined with the reference to the value of the property insured. If the policyholder has taken a policy for lesser amount, then the actual value of the property, the insurer will pay only such proportion of the actual loss as his insurance amount bears to the actual value of property at the time of loss. That means if the property total worth is 30,000 rupees and the insured for only 20,000 rupees, if the fire took place and the property got damaged around 12,000 rupees, then the insured cannot get the compensation of 12,000 completely. That means a proportionate of property total value and total sum insured. The insurer here in this example, the insurer will pay only 8,000 rupees as evident from the following. You can expect one case study question here for 5 marks or 15 marks. How to be calculate? The claim amount is equal to insured amount divided by value of property into actual loss. According to this example, total insured amount is 20,000 rupees and property value is 30,000 rupees. 20,000 divided by 30 into 12,000. 12,000 is the damage which caused by fire. So here the compensation given to insured only 8,000 rupees. Next point, nature of fire insurance. Later we can discuss about insurance claim. When a fire occurs in a business premises, it destroys a number of assets such as building, machinery, stock, etc. Therefore, the businessman usually take a fire insurance policy to indemnify the loss of stock and other assets resulting from fire. A formal demand submitted by the insured in respect of the loss by fire to be compensated by the insurer is called as claim or insurance claim or fire claim. A claim or insurance claim or fire claim, the meaning will be the same. That means if that specific incident, that means insured property got fired, that incident is become natural, that is incidental, then the insured has to file the application for claim. Then only insurer can release the compensation. Now, types of claims. First one, claim for loss of stock. When the subject matter of fire insurance is subjected to risk of loss, the claim for such loss can be calculated as follows. One is where proper stock records are maintained and such records are not destroyed by fire. So many businesses, if they have proper record of related to their stocks, any business, For example, a retail shop, they have 80,000 rupees amount of stock and they have proper stock register records. So on that basis, and sometimes as the records are not maintained, it is somewhat difficult to know the value of stock lost and consequently the claim on such loss of stock. The first point, it is not at all problem for insurer. Some businessmen, they have the proper records, but in rural areas, retail shops, sometimes they may not have the proper system of maintaining the stocks. So then second point will be applicable for them. Second one, claim for the loss of fixed asset. For indemnifying the loss, the value of any fixed asset has to be taken as its value as at the date of fire. That means indemnifying the loss, the value of any fixed asset has to be taken as its value at the time, at the date of fire. That means the policy may be done before 1 year, but at present, what is the value? The proper valuation of asset or property or stocks, on that basis, company can or insurer can give the compensation. It means at the date of fire value. Next, loss of profit policy. Here, besides insuring against the loss of stock or asset or value on that particular date, that means point number 1 and 2. Here, business often take out loss of profit insurance to cover them against the loss of profits if a fire or other any perils interrupts their business. Here it has become very simple. For example, if any one business, retail shop, the shop got fire and due to this fire, the stock and their business, so their business can be interrupted for another 15 days or 20 days or 30 days. The what amount of loss can be incurred by or experienced by insured, that amount can be compensated. That means it is the loss of profit policies covered the entire portion of fire which can be created a loss. First 2 points are related to what is the actual loss incurred by insured due to the fire. But here, after the fire, the business may can be interrupted. So that also included in this kind of claim policy. So it's all types of claims is based on the contract. Next, we can discuss about settlement of claims. In case of loss by fire, the insurer has to notify immediately to the insured and should file the claim. The claim may be settled by the insurer by paying cash or may replace or repair the damaged property or may reinstate the property. Any 4 method can be applicable. This the choice of insurer. Either they can pay cash, they can replace, they can repair, or may they reinstate the property. Generally, they compensate on the method of paying cash. That is the easiest way to the insurer. First one, what are the following steps to be taken to recover the claim? First one, notice. First, the insurer should be give a written notice. That means application for claim of loss to the insurer. Correct? After the incident, the insured himself, he has to return a notice or claim application to the insurer. Next, evidence. The insured should produce a proof that loss by fire has occurred. the certificate from fire brigade authority or police report. And very important, here the fire should be incidental, not created. Correct? So the incident should be natural. That's a very important. Next form, the insured should fill the prescribed form given by the insurer along with the documents asked for and attestations required. So after once they give the notice to the insurer, so they will provide a form. So all the required details must be filled by insured. Next, inspection. The insurer assessing staff, they appoint or guide the staff, usually engineers, architects, surveyors, that means experts will inspect the loss and give their estimate of loss to their office. For example, the insured may have their own inspection and amount of claim, their quoted claim may be differ, but here company himself, that means insurer himself, appoint that experts basis on the property and the business. It may be engineers, architects or surveys. They will inspect the property or spot and they estimate their loss, and according to that estimation of loss only can compensate to the insured, not on the based on the demand of insured. For example, insured property got fire and he in the form he requested for the claim of 1,50,000, but the experts, they can have their own estimation of loss and they quoted just 95,000 rupees. So then company will pay only 95,000 instead of 1,30,000 rupees. This is very important. Next, rejection. The insurance company may reject the claim if the books of account have been destroyed, or then the basis it took to take record of old account books for estimation. Example, last year closing stock will be opening stock of the year, credit sales can be found out from creditors. If any kind of such kind of proper documentations, proper informations may not be provided by insured, then the claim application can be rejected. And very important, if the insurer may found some kind of any kind of faults in the claim, they found that the incident is not natural or any other loopholes they found, they may reject. That means if the claim application, the insurer, they may found any kind of lapse related to the principles of insurance, so then they may reject the claim. So at the time, the only options for the insured, legal proceedings. If insurer reject, so then if then insured is not satisfied, so then he can question in the floor of legally he can fight against it. Next, further 2 points, claim procedures. One is under or double insurance. In case of under insurance, the insurer shall pay the loss by applying average clause. For example, if insured value of property is 20,000, it has been insured for 12,000 rupees and loss is 10,000, then the payment will be not completely 12,000. Correct? So, how can be calculated? Insured value into actual loss divided by value of property. So, we will get the claim amount. For example, 12,000 rupees is insured value and 10,000 loss, actual loss, and 20,000 is value of the property. 12,000 into 10,000 divided by 20. So, insurance company, instead of actual loss of 10,000, on the basis of total sum assured, that is 12,000, they can pay only 6,000. If the subject matter has been insured with the 2 or more insurers, the contribution clause will be a PLASIM. Already we have discussed in earlier classes. Correct? The same formula. For example, insured go with the 20,000 rupees, 12,000 rupees company A and 8,000 company B. So, company A will pay 6,000 rupees, company B will pay 4,000 rupees at the time of complete loss of 20,000. That means, in the same case, if the insured is go with 12,000 rupees insurance, that is 6,000 rupees company A and 6,000 rupees company B. So, then the compensation can be paid by 2 companies, 3,000 and 3,000 equally. Correct? So, definitely one time this type of questions will also definitely we can expect in exam as case study. Last point, more than one fire. This is a very unnatural incident. The incident may sometimes arise for 100 members, it may be this kind of incident can be occurred only 1 or 2 or maximum 5 to 8%. But this also there is a also chances that the actual loss will be paid in case of more than one fire in a year of the insured value. That means the total term of year is 1 year. In that 1 year, the same insured property got fired for more than one time, maybe one time, second time, third time in a year. So, what kind of compensation can be paid or what is the method for it? If the property is insured for 30,000 rupees, actual value of the property, and there are 3 fires occurred in 1 year, the total value is 30,000 rupees property value, and there are 3 fires occurred in 1 year. That means you can just imagine total value has insured. Correct? ₹30,000 and loss is each time 10,000 rupees. Correct? Actual loss is 10,000 rupees. Then 8,000 and 10, then 12,000 rupees. How to be calculated? So, the formula is very simple: total insured value, value of property and actual loss. Total insured value is 10,000 rupees. Correct? And the actual value of the property is 30,000 rupees. The first time the loss is 10,000 rupees. Second time loss is 8,000 rupees. So, then 10,000 divided by 30,000 into 10,000. First time when that insured got fired for his property or business, so company can only pay the 3,333 rupees. When second time it happens, the company can only pay 2,666 rupees, almost 6,000 rupees they have paid, correct? Third time it happened, and third time the loss is around 5,000 rupees they have quoted, or third time it is 12,000 rupees, sorry. Then instead of, according to the calculation, 3,000 rupees 300, 2,666, and in third time they have to pay 5,000 rupees, correct? But already in that year 3,000 and 2,666, almost 6,000 they have already paid to that insured. So that means instead of 5,000 rupees, the company can only pay as compensation 4,000 to insured. That means 1 year the total sum assured will be 10,000 rupees covered. This is the simple calculation. Definitely you can expect one question related to over here. Next, last part. Similarity between fire and marine insurance. All fire insurance contracts are contracts of indemnity like marine insurance for the term of 1 year. That means except in case of valued policy, correct? Both these policies are issued only for the short period, especially fire insurance for 1 year, and marine insurance also policy for either a 1 year or particular voyage or time. So there are a lot of similarity between fire and marine insurances. But what are the differences? First one, insurable interest. In marine insurance, insurable interest at the time of the loss, but fire insurance at the time of the insurance and at the time of the loss, both. Next point, transfer. The marine insurance policy can be freely transferred, but fire insurance cannot be transferred without the permission of insurance company. Next, loss. Under a marine insurance policy, the insured is given a profit up to 10 to 15% of insured amount, but under fire insurance, the actual loss or the amount insured, whichever is less, that can be only indemnified. So here, fire insurance, actual loss or the amount insured, whichever is less, that should be considered. Responsibility, the moral responsibility of the insured, that means cargo owner, does not exist in case of marine insurance, but the moral responsibility of the insured is an important factor in the case of fire insurance policy. These are the major differences between marine insurance and fire insurance. We can wind up this session. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. We can meet you in next session. Thank you again.